this is Naomi with Sword and Steel, and today I had to stop everything and check out the 40 years of Warhammer, because it's going to be showing me old-fashioned miniatures, well, 40-year-old miniatures, and I am not 40 years old yet, but I thought it would be super fun to see how the miniatures have developed over the years, so I hope you enjoy it with me. Okay. It says, celebrate 40 years of Warhammer with a year-long showcase of seminal miniatures. So they're going to be putting out multiple videos. It gave me an email and told me it's going to put out multiple videos. So I guess we get to see a couple miniatures at a time. Super cute. All right, Warhammer history stretched back 40 years to the first edition of a game that would become Warhammer Fantasy Battles, released in 1983. Do you recognize this little guy? Do you recognize him? That is a Chaos Warrior. I've just assembled a Chaos Warrior, and I can recognize him. Oh my gosh. It's like they kept to the original style, but, you know, expanded on it. So it's not this little chibi guy, Slambo. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, sorry. That's some pedigree, and so to celebrate the 40th year of the world's finest miniature fighting shockingly deadly battles, 2023 will be packed with retrospectives. Each week, our archivists will showcase a storied treasure salvaged from the depths of Warhammer history, and we're kicking things off with two of our most iconic models. And anyone who actually has any of these models or had one of these models should definitely comment below and tell me what you think of seeing it again. We begin in the 1980s with Warhammer's original anti-heroes. Bam!
He may not have been the very first Chaos Warrior, but this miniature, known as Slambo, was the iconic Chaos Warrior, part of a Warhammer bad guy archetype that still exists 40 years later. A Chaos Warrior would also star on the cover of the first Warhammer rulebook, smashing the unlife out of a skeleton warrior. It was a scene that set the tone for Warhammer for decades.
I like that art.
The idea of villain against villain. The image of an evil knight in heavy Baroque demonic armor would spawn a whole army, the Slaves to Darkness, which would itself feature some of the most iconic villains from the worlds of Warhammer. The heavily armoured look of Chaos Warriors would subsequently go on to be an inspiration for both the Space Marines of Warhammer 40,000 and even the indomitable Stormcast Eternals of Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
Warhammer has leaned into the grim and the dark, and the Chaos Warriors are the indisputable experts, though this fellow isn't quite Warhammer's first ever miniature. Clad in Chaos armor, look at that Chaos armor. But you can totally see. Okay, now I can understand why they still put these random skulls in the middle of the two things, because it's based on this old one. And I'm like, why would you do this? Strange to me, but it's paying homage to this old fella. He's so cute. Ooh, next one. Okay, oh, cool. Hold on. Is that the very first Space Marine? Ah, it's like a Palatine Enforcer. Speaking of Space Marines, after the success of the first edition of Warhammer Fantasy Battles, sights turned to a new universe, the grim darkness of the far future, and with Warhammer came another seminal model. Great things often have humble beginnings, and the vast enthralling universe of Warhammer 40,000 is no different. The first Space Marine is the spark that lit the fire. More medieval knight than sci-fi soldier, his oversized pauldrons and pointed helmet captured everyone's imagination and remain a touchstone for Space Marine design. Yeah, his little beaky. But he looks, well, I guess maybe it's the paint scheme that's seeing it, but he looks a fair bit like a Palatine Enforcer from Necromunda now. Wow. With a little backpack. Look at little details. It's really hard to see those details. I wonder what gun this is supposed to be. Can't tell. Modern designs will refine the aesthetic, but everyone loves a beaky. which we know as Mark IV Corvus pattern armor. Look at what they look like now. Boom. Boom. I don't mind these ones. I mean, I'm not a particular fan of the little beaky, but they look pretty cute. The new ones, I don't mind them. There's plenty more to come throughout the year, including some reveals we guaranteed you won't be expecting, so sign up to our newsletter to make sure none of them pass you by. That was super fun. I hope you enjoyed it with me. And I guess that's it. That's it. I just had so much fun. Okay. Let me know if you had either of these little guys. I would totally want to paint one of these old miniatures. Do not have any. I don't think. Oh, there might be some. I know there's some old pewter guys in storage somewhere in a box. I imagine I don't have the first one. I don't know. I haven't seen this particular one in the flesh before. Wait, hold on. I think I missed a video. I did miss a video. Hold on. Gotta watch this.
This humble, unassuming, futuristic knight is the first ever Space Marine. Not only would his popularity spawn an entire game in the form of Warhammer 40,000, but the Space Marine would go on to be the most recognizable design in all of Warhammer. This classic design owed more to medieval armor design rather than anything from traditional science fiction. Any orc would be able to identify that Mark VI beaky helmet though.
I think we could get rid of those.
Have been wearing them for 10,000 years, from the dark days of the Horus Heresy through to modern day Warhammer 40,000. The big difference between the first Space Marine and his later brothers is the weapon. That's not the ubiquitous bolt gun. Instead, he's armed with a disintegration gun. But it wouldn't be long before he'd get his hands on the bolter. And the rest is
That's why I didn't recognize it. Okay. It explains everything. I was like, what gun is that? Okay, now I'm done. I'm glad I watched that. Okay, bye.